Everyone, I am Dr. Gupta. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Minal Gupta from Department of Physics, School of Basic Sciences and Research, Sharda University. In this presentation, I am going to give presentation on the topic of functional biochar derived from Desmostratia bipinata for the application in energy storage devices. So before starting my presentation, I wish to thank Professor Neelam Srivastav ma'am and Professor Bhaskar Bhattacharya sir for giving me this opportunity to present this work in this international conference on energy, materials and devices. So this is basic introduction about the topic. That there are three type of electrochemical devices: batteries, fuel cells, and electrochemical supercapacitors. So batteries, they are fully occupied in the market. Fuel cells also, they are in market, but this area is under development also. And electrochemical supercapacitors, they have not fully commercialized yet, but they are used in memory production in electronic devices. This is the basic Regon plot where it is showing the comparison of specific energy and specific power for these three different devices. So, in terms of supercapacitor, we can see that the specific energy for the supercapacitor is much lower than other two type of devices. So, researchers are working in this area to improve the specific energy of the supercapacitors. Supercapacitors, so they are electrochemical device which stores energy electrostatically via polarizing the electrolytic solution. So supercapacitor, they have four component: current collector, which is basically made of this graphite sheet, and it is coated with different kind of electrode material. So this work is based on carbon based material. So that's why the material, this electrode material, either porous or non-porous carbon electrode material, and there is a membrane and electrolyte solution. In this slide, I am showing you the working mechanism of the charging and discharging of supercapacitor. So in the first diagram, while charging, we are applying the voltage to the this current collector, and we can see that the ions of electrolyte solution, they are going at the respective surface of the electrode material, and while discharging in the second graph, while discharging, these ions, they get neutralized. So we can see that while charging, these ions, they are going and they are sitting at the surface of the respective electrode material, and electrode material is porous carbon material. So these ions, they can go and sit inside the pores. So that's why if we want to increase the specific capacitance, there should be this ion size and pore size, they must be optimal. If it is optimal, we can increase the value of specific capacitance. So this is the key factor to increase the specific capacitance of EDLC. So we are working on carbon-based electrode material. So that's why the common properties of the carbon materials are listed here. That they are highly available, easily available in terms of any precursor material, and various forms they are available. These carbon materials are available in various forms: the carbon nanotube, graphene, activated carbon, carbon aerogel, and they are very high surface area, and the porosity also mostly high. And these carbon materials are generally, they are chemical inert if we are working with these aqueous organic or these ionic liquid electrolytes, and their operating temperature range is quite high, from minus 15 degrees centigrade to almost 70 degrees centigrade, and the synthesis process of this carbon electrode material is really very simple. So these carbon materials, they generally have different kind of pores. So they are categorized like this. If pore size is less than 2 nanometer, we call them micropores, and pore size between 2 to 50 nanometer, it is mesopores, and if pore size is greater than 50 nanometer, we call them macropores. So different researchers, they have made different structures of carbon materials in form of nanocarbon, carbon nanotubes, graphene, and many more. So these are the carbons which are having a high surface area, and their pore size is also very high. And these carbon materials, they are really highly durable materials. So people have tried to make activated carbon material also, and these activated carbon materials are extremely porous material, and that's why their surface area is very high. And its surface behaves as a sponge, as a sponge, and that's why lots of electrons can be collected at the surface of this activated carbon rather than any other this conductor material. So carbon nanotube also people have tested as electrode material in supercapacitors, and most of the reports are with liquid electrolytes, and these are also one of the good choice as electrode material. People have made this carbon-based electrode material with different advanced kind of carbon precursors also, using this metal organic frameworks, geolites, this polyacrylonitrile. Such kind of precursors they have utilized to make different structures of these carbon materials in microporous and mesoporous carbons. We have tried to make the functionalized biochar or this carbon material using this Desmostrachea bipinata. So we have taken the fresh leaves of this grass, and we have first we have cleaned it, and then we have dried it in the oven, and once it is fully dried, we have crushed it in a fine powder, and after making the fine powder, again we have kept it in the oven for 2 to 3 days at 110 degrees centigrade, and then we have soaked it in ethanol for 15 days. Then after 15 days, we have again crushed it properly and then carbonized it in tubular furnace at 800 degrees centigrade for 1 hour. And then the produced sample, we have crushed it properly and then washed it with 1 molar HCl solution, and then we have washed it with distilled water to maintain the pH value 7. And then this powder, the obtained powder, we have dried in vacuum oven at 60 degrees centigrade overnight, and like this we could prepare our this functionalized biochar material using very simple synthesis technique, carbonization method. So this is the XRD pattern and Raman spectra of the prepared sample, and we can see that in the Raman spectra there are two peaks at 1340 and 1591 centimeter inverse. These are responsible for the D and G band respectively, and we have calculated the ID by IG value, which has come around 1.8, and which confirms that our sample is having low graphitization. These are the different structural parameter which we have calculated using this XRD technique. So we have found that stacking height for our material is quite higher than the reported value for the pure graphitic material. So in our case it is 1.136, and this ratio, this LC by this D002 ratio, this is quite high in our case. We can say that our material, this prepared material, it is here it is structure is quite thicker than the compared to the pure other graphite pure graphite material. This is the FSM image of our prepared sample, and we can see that it is having lots of pores, and the pore size is ranging from 1 nanometer to 8 nanometer, and we can see that lots of closed pores are also there, and these covered pores, we can say that it is due to the this non volatile material which could not leave the this our material during this pyrolysis method. So, and also we have not added any activating agent during the carbonization. which may one another reason for leaving this volatile impurities inside the material. So in further step we can improve or we can there is a chances to open all these pores if we use some activating agent before carbonization, and then surface area can be improved. So this is the BT diagram obtained for our sample, and using this we have calculated the specific surface area, which is quite low. This is 16.79 this meters per gram, and the reason is that in our sample this the micropores and mesopores, these are very small. We can say that the micropores volume and mesopores volume is this 0.042 and 0.055 centimeter cube per gram. So most of the pores are actually macro pores which don't contribute in surface area. And using this we try to make the supercapacitor device using two different kind of electrolyte solution. One is H2SO4 aqueous electrolyte, and another this ionic liquid. So we can see that in case of ionic liquid, the shape of the cyclic voltammetry curve is more closer to the EDLC. However, in case of H2SO4, it is slightly differing from the EDLC. And using this cyclic voltammetry curve and Nyquist plot, we have calculated the value of specific capacitance, which is found to be around 25 farad per gram, which shows that this material, the prepared material, could work as a electrode material in supercapacitor, but definitely its performance can be improved with changing the method in carbonization by taking the activating agent. So the conclusion is that we have prepared this biochar material using this Desmostrachia bipinata grass, and we have carbonized it without using any activating agent. And this material is thermally stable, and we have characterized it using XRD and Raman, BT, SEM. This techniques we have used to see the structural and this morphological study of our sample. And finally, we have applied it as electrode material in supercapacitor device using two different electrode, and the values of this supercapacitor is around 25 farad per gram. So thank you everyone for having patience in listening me. Thank you.